Everybody has their own timetable. And if it's worth doing, you just start pursuing it. You just start doing it. If you're passionate about it, do it.
Hey, welcome to Passionfroot, where we pursue lives of purpose together. I'm Max. I'm here with Grace Croughan, who I also know as Auntie. She is a fine artist. As you can see, we're sitting in front of some of her work. And today I wanted to talk with her a little bit about her journey as an artist, getting a sense of what timelines look like for people in the creative arts and what's possible for us. Thanks for agreeing to be part of this.
Like you said, he is my little nephew.
Yep.
Not so little.
Yeah.
But yes, my brother is his father.
You have quite a number of accolades and memberships that you've got. Could you just list those off for people?
Oh, okay. The first group that I joined was the Richmond Hill Group of Artists, which is a local group. And actually, it was great to start to dabble in their very active group. So I enjoyed that. I've been their member for many, many years. Just recently, I got elected into the Society of Canadian Artists. And that was one of my goals, I guess, in a dream, to be part of that group. It's a validation. And then so like if I'm applying to galleries or shows or whatever, and they see that I have the SCA at the end of my name, then, they know what kind of level you're at.
Yeah, they take that seriously.
Yeah. So that was wonderful. Before that, I was part of I still am part of the Color and Form Society, which is also an elected process where, not anyone can join, you have to apply. So I'm part of that group as well. And then I'm part of the Pastel Artists of Canada group. I have the Master Pastelist designation.
I mean, not everybody can say that, so that's really cool.
So I could put MPAC, MPAC at the end of my name.
Nice. What can you tell us about your journey as an artist?
I've always been creating and painting all my life, but when we got to the time of choosing a major for university, I chickened out, kind of, and I went the more commercial route, and I did graphic design at Andrews University. After that, I thought, well, I should specialize a little bit more. So I went to the Ontario College of Art and Design, and I took advertising design. After that, I worked as an art director for 10 years in the advertising industry. At that time, I became pregnant with my second child, Brianna.
What's up, Brianna, if you're watching this?
So that was like 10 years into the art director route. And I thought, okay, this is time now, because whatever I do, I want to do it 200%. And I thought, I can't do that and do it for, with my kids. So I decided, okay, now is the time to stop and raise my kids. As the kids were getting older, my dad started to develop dementia, and I slowly became more of a caregiver. And I thought, I want to put him into some kind of a class, more stimulation. And I thought, okay, he used to like to draw when he was a young man. So I looked an art class for him, and I found one for a watercolor class. And so I enrolled him. I took him to the first class, and I sat in the back with a book, but I was distracted. They were having so much fun. And I remembered all those years ago painting and everything. And so from the next session, I signed up, and I was painting right beside him. And that was fantastic. That brought me right back into fine arts. So from there, the teacher encouraged me to join a local art group. And then it just, kind of slowly grew. Whenever I had a little time, I painted at home. And that's how it was. Because of my dad, I reconnected with the fine art, the actual practical painting side. And so I always, I believe that when you help somebody else, you get helped just as much.
Yeah.
You gain so much from that. I really believe that. If it wasn't for him, I don't know. I'm sure somehow I would have transitioned to this fine art career, but I really thank him for letting this happen to me.
In that kind of in-between time, you had Brendan and Brianna, you were raising them, and then the growing crisis time with Grandpa happened. In that in-between time, how much were you painting, if at all?
They're not swimming lessons. I got to take them to Croughan. Time. And then they were taking French immersion. So bring out my French and English dictionary to help them figure out those math problems in French.
Right. And
I'm always exhausted, no time. Yeah. But I did, whenever I could, I would bring out some, I would draw, sketch or just whatever. I had some pastels. I would do a little pastel I did a little, but not really painting, more drawing. I guess I was doing a lot more drawing at that time. And then when he did this, then I really focused.
Obviously, we're sitting in front of some examples of your work right now, and you do a lot of stuff with like these big landscapes and mountains and stuff. What's the messaging, or what's the impression you're trying to give?
These are, of course, my mountain work. So I have two streams. It's changed over the years. Now I do about 80% of my mountain acrylic paintings, and then 20% I spend on my impressionistic pastel landscapes of southern Ontario. For that is more. That's a little bit more on the line from realistic to abstract. The pastels will be a little bit more, even though they're impressionistic, they'll be more on the line towards the realistic, and these will be more towards the abstract. And because I love also abstract very much. But with either one though, the underlying, I guess, messaging you could say is that I want to convey joy, peace with the natural world, the world that God gave us, and peace, because a lot of the people that buy my art, the first thing they say is, I love the peace, I love the tranquility, I love the serenity of your pieces, whether it's in the mountains or with the landscapes. I feel such joy creating a painting. I just feel so privileged to be able to create what I want, I guess, and do these things. And I want that joy. I think the joy gets infused. Like, I think just like people, when they sing, they say to smile, and they say that way, it comes out in your sound. Yeah. In the same way, I think the joy and the excitement that I feel is, I think, infused. I think that's ultimately what I'm trying to say with my paintings.
Yeah, awesome. I think that really comes through for sure. Everything you paint with the like acrylic style is so vibrant. I think you can tell why people are so drawn to it. Why mountains specifically? Like what makes the mountains such an attractive thing?
Yeah, that's a good question. And that's what a lot of people ask me. And I live in southern Ontario, and there are no mountains here. Like, not anything like this. Yeah. But there's just something about mountains. And I didn't actually go out searching for, I'm going to paint mountains now. No, it just happened, as in all most artists do. We experiment, we try this and try that and see, we're always trying to figure things out. And when I was playing around with textures, because a lot of the acrylic materials give you ways to use textures, and then one day, like, it just came out, like, these mountains, and I thought, wow, it resonated with me, and I just, like, I can feel it and hear that there's something here that I must explore. If you go by the mountains, like last year I had a chance to go to Banff. But it's just amazing. They're easier to make it more abstract, I guess, for me anyways. And then not only that, when I started to put it out into some shows and stuff, it really resonated with people, which got me even more excited. So, and that's how it all began. And even though some people say, well, why only mountains? You just do mountains,
Do people say that?
Not to my face. But I've had people that on Instagram said, do you only do mountains? He was a guy in art school, and maybe he was really seriously wanting to know. And so I said, well, I also do pastel landscapes, and I showed him my other pastel account. And then he was shocked. He was, but the reason is, to be taken seriously, you've got to just take one thing. Like, if you're going to do apples, then you take that apple and you paint like 6 months or a year, you study that apple, so that by the end you have your own voice of what that apple means to you and how you can do it and how to do it in a style that's unique to you. So that's why we focus. If you do this and that and this and that, the art society will not even consider you, But you do that, of course, on your own to discover what you want to do, like what you like, and the styles may apply. But what you present to the world, you got to be singular in your approach, and so that people can say, Grace Croughan, she paints mountains. Right. It's got to be quick like that.
It's interesting because there's a parallel there between I'm going to go the more commercial route, and I'm going to do the thing that's like what I want in my heart, right? Like, at the same time, you have to do the experimental stuff on your own and figure out what you want. But then when it comes to self-presentation and branding and recognition, you kind of have to also keep the audience in mind, which is an interesting tension with like any artist, I guess. Yeah. Pastels and acrylics, you've mentioned that those are kind of the two areas that you live in. And what drew you to those over other forms of media?
Pastels, I don't have an example here, but the pastels, they're always ready to go. I have them all lined up in a box, broken up and put into value and hue. You don't have to mix it with water. It's portable, great. A lot of the artists used to take it with them to do studies when they went on plein air, like outside. So I really like the touch of it and how to do layer and layer over with the pastels. And I find it fits my landscapes. And I do more impressionistic, more vibrant colors perhaps. But then there's a limit to how large you can go with those because they have to be framed and put behind glass for it to be
protected. Yeah, I see.
But once it's protected behind glass, the color, the vibrancy will last forever. But still that process of, and it's heavy and, it's just breakable, it's expensive. So I wanted a way also to make it, especially now that I was starting to go more online, I wanted something that was easier to ship. And I wanted to go larger. I really wanted to go larger. So I could have gone oil, but I wanted to go acrylic because I'm impatient and I wanted to dry quick.
Right.
And with acrylics, it dries very quick. And that's why I went this way.
You'd alluded just now to how stuff started going like really online for you, right?
Yes.
Can you describe a bit about like how social media impacted like the turn your life took towards like doing this more?
I think I came upon the art at a great time when social media was really taking off. Maybe a little behind social media, but because people were saying, you're an artist, the young people were saying, you got to be on Facebook, you got to be on Instagram, you got to be. And I always poo-pooed it and I always never wanted to be in those things. But then I finally said, okay, I'm going to do it. And in 2016, I joined Facebook. 2017, I joined Instagram. And boy, wow. What a ride, because you finish something, you put it out there, and you instantly can get some feedback on your work and be able to talk directly to people that might be interested in your art. That was wonderful. And it was through this Facebook actually that one of the art curators from the gallery in BC, she saw my work and she was interacting with me. I didn't really know who she was, and she liked my work. And then eventually she says, okay, Grace, I want to take a chance on you. Would you like to do a show at my gallery? And at that time, my dad was getting sick. So I said, well, I can't actually physically go. And so she says, okay, well then let's just start to show some of your work. And this is how this one happened. This is out in BC, which is perfect because it's in the area with the mountains, right?
Right. Very on brand for the area.
Yeah. Social media was helpful. And also not just social media, but also like being online. People are getting more and more comfortable buying things online. And so that really helped with, in the past, would you buy a painting from some stranger online? Right. But okay, it's not a total stranger because because I'm on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, it's just wonderful that I don't have to depend on other people to sell my work.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be able to do it myself. And that's where also being in the field of advertising in the past has kind of come around and helped me as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, you get to transfer some of that knowledge about like how to market your stuff and then like get it properly in front of people and transform that into sales.
Of course, you have to wear many hats now as artists. You got to be your own marketing person, your accountant, you're I don't know, you get your supplies, you got to go for packaging, all so many things. But it's still exciting because it's all for your own business.
Yeah, thanks for letting me use your light boxes for this. Makes things easier.
Equipment, I guess.
Yeah, but that's what happens when you, like you said, have to wear so many hats, right?
Yes.
You are your own marketing team.
Yeah.
For me, like when it comes to the music side of things, I'll listen to interviews with some of my favorite artists and be like, oh yeah, we got our big break when we were 17, 18 years old, and we signed a record contract that we absolutely did not understand what we were signing up for. And I hear that story over and over again, and I heard it so much growing up that I thought to myself, if I haven't quote unquote made it by the time I turn 30, my life is basically over. Like I'm basically a fossil and there's no future for me. And that's like, even like on the verge of turning 30, I was like, man, what am I gonna do now? Like the band I'm in, I didn't start until I was basically like 25. For me, I felt like I was showing up late. I felt like I was way, way, way behind everyone. Meanwhile, when I hear your story, you didn't really begin this leg of your journey until you already had adult children. Actually, now that I think about it, like you started this around more or less the same time that I was starting my band.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, kind of at the same time.
Yeah.
But like you were like plenty into your adulthood and like having grown-up kids.
Yeah.
So what would you say to a younger person who's kind of living with the mindset that like, if I don't make it by 25, if I don't make it by 30, if I don't make it by 21 or something, like, oh, I'm behind, like I'm never gonna make it at this point.
It's unfortunate that the society has really pushing everybody to, you know, if you don't succeed, but like you said, it's so false. Like that's terrible. Like everybody has their own timetable, and if it's worth doing, you just start pursuing it. You should start doing it. If you're passionate about it, do it. And it also helps to have create maybe a plan, a little plan, and a timetable, maybe, but be realistic, of course, and go with that. And don't be swayed by, you know, like if you don't do this by then. No, if I listen to that, I don't know what I'll be doing right now.
Right.
Start now. Don't fret. Don't compare yourself to others. It's good if it's going to encourage you to push yourself, maybe a little bit, but just keep on plugging away. When my dad was really sick, we got a hospital bed. We put it in our family room because it's open to the kitchen and we could see him all the time. Between him and the kids, I really had no time to do anything, but I needed to create. And so it was a way to cope with my stress. Although I didn't feel that at the time, I just wanted to help him. So I didn't feel that stressed, but I took the office, I changed it into my study, my studio. I set up my pastels so that anytime I wanted to, I can just run in there and do a little bit and go. I started to do very small, loose pastels of landscapes fast, and every little bit I try to do a landscape a day. And then if they turn out, I put it on Facebook, and that's kind of how it grew. I put it out and oh, people like it, and I do another one, and I kept doing it, and people kept coming back for more, and then that's how the Facebook really grew too. So what I'm saying is, even if it's just doing a little, draw an eye, draw an ear. I say, if it's your passion, do it. Do a little bit every day. You know, pursue something. It doesn't matter age or whatever. And you can think, oh, there's no time. You know, if it's your passion, do it.
Kind of in reference to like the rest of the team on this channel, we have Darcy, who's kind of our lead. She's a fine artist, and she went to Southern and did like art school, right? Like she pursued that academically from the start. We have another visual artist, Mary Ellen. She's the one from Australia. Well, one of two people from Australia. She went to law school.
Oh my!
She became a lawyer and then transitioned from law to graphic design.
Wow.
She never did art school. They have a video on our channel where they discuss like, do you need art school as a whole question, right? You did pursue something artistic in school, but it was, you know, the more commercial route. So what are your thoughts on those kinds of transitions, and what would you advise people about picking their path, or like thinking rigidly about what one choice means for the rest of their life?
You have to be flexible, I think. Like, for instance, when you're young and you're going into university, things can change. Your personality is still changing. So many of friends I know that went to school and they actually start working in that field and think, I hate this, you know, this is not for me.
Right.
Or they like it and they continue, but they discover other things. And, you know, of course, everything's changing. Technology, you know, the world is changing. So you kind of, you know, start to go a different route. It's never wasted, I don't think. Just like whatever, you know, what I had in my past, experiences I had are so helpful to me now. I draw on those. Even a little thing like when I was working in advertising, they were like, I was stressed. I was really busy. It made me like tougher, I think. It made me work harder. And people in the advertising or creative industry, they come and go, like, you know, in one day, and they out get somebody else. But like, they loved me because I just put in my 200%, I guess. If nothing else, I mean, even from the past, if nothing else, it taught me so many things about marketing and everything, but it also taught me that you gotta really be tough and work hard. And so now it's like, I'm doing this for myself, and it's just like, wow, it's almost like I'm playing, you know?
Right.
Because I worked so, it was like when I was in it, I didn't think like that. I was enjoying it, even though it was so tough and demanding, and I was probably so stressed too. But still, now I'm putting, that toughened me up, I guess, and made me work hard for anything that I do.
Yeah.
But not with passion.
There's a lot of people who are going to find value in your story, especially when it comes to like thinking through like the path of their life and how to make their passion, their interests fit in a world that demands that you line up with a certain set of expectations. So I really appreciate your perspective. Obviously, your art is really great, and I hope that people will check it out. Where can people find you online?
GraceCroughan.com. I'm on Instagram, Grace Croughan Art, and I'm on Facebook as Grace Croughan Art. I'm on Pinterest, Grace Croughan Art. I'm trying to keep it consistent. So.
And you're on TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok, Grace Croughan Art.
There you go.
And I'm on YouTube. This is the area that's the area that's growing right now.
I'll make sure we have all of that in the description of the video too, so if people want to find you. Thank you for sharing from your experience and from your entire journey.
Well, thank you, Max. I really enjoyed this talk.
And thank you for tuning in. This has been a lot of fun for me. Obviously, I've known her my whole life, but it's cool to be able to sit down and learn from the wisdom of like your family and the people who have experiences that can be instructive for you. So I hope you found this informative. If you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, make sure you do. Hit the like, hit the notification bell, and leave us a comment letting us know what you thought about this video. Stick around for the next one. To everyone else on the Passionfroot team, hi, miss you all. Hope you're doing good. Everybody else, take care. We'll see you next time.